Hey friends, Shadylikeatree here, and welcome into Reminiscing with Shady episode 78. This is the Die Hard trilogy. This trilogy is kind of based on the Die Hard, first three Die Hard movies that came out late 80s, early 90s, featuring Bruce Willis. Sam Jackson was one of the people in it. I'm trying to forget who the other sidekicks were. In the first three movies, I'm forgetting off the top of my head. The game was developed by Probe Entertainment, published by Fox Interactive. Of course, they're the people who own the Die Hard movies. It was released on PlayStation in North America on August 31st, 1996, and then later on December 31st of that same year, it was released for Sega Saturn and Microsoft Windows. This game does have quite a lot of old school mechanics. It's kind of a third person 3D shooter with the score kind of an Arcadian score at the top. Very much, a game that you would see in the arcade. I do believe they did make this for the arcade, but I wasn't able to find any confirmation of that anywhere. This is the very first level from the first game, because I consider there to be three games within this one game. You'll see the second level immediately following this. Basically, your goal is to kill all the bad guys that are in each level, free all the hostages, and then at the end of each level, there's a bomb that you have to locate and then just walk up to, and then you automatically defuse it and whatnot. And also, you should try not to die. That's kind of also a very important part of this game. So all the time in these Reminiscing with Shady videos, I talk about my previous experiences with the game and kind of when I was able to play this game. And this was actually a game I didn't play really close to launch. This was a game I had to wait until I was a teenager. My mom was very much against violent video games when I was super young. Although I think there came a point where I was maybe 13 and she started letting me play teen games. And then I sort of just played and enjoyed those until I was maybe 17 when I started playing mature games. You know, the games like Medal of Honor, Rising Sun comes to mind, and a couple others. But this was actually the first mature game I actually did play. I played this when I was 15. I didn't actually own it at the time. I wanted to get it, but I had no funds. Well, actually, it was 13, 14 in there. It would have been probably 2004, right before I got a PlayStation 2. I was playing it at a friend's house, and I'd seen the movies at that point. I had seen the third one, and I think the second one, and then I would later see the first one. I saw them all out of order. It was really weird, and so I was kind of intrigued, and I was like, well, the movies weren't that bad. How bad can the game be? And at the time, this game certainly wasn't as bad as a lot of things that were out on the market, as far as a violence content and just a pure, mess with your head kind of standpoint. But at the same time, it was still pretty bad. It was still fairly bad. I was very proud of myself growing up because this was actually one of the first games that I considered to be a long game that I was actually able to finish, and complete. It takes a long time to do that, I think. If I remember right, I spent weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks trying to figure it out. But I did manage it at some point to beat all three of the games within this game. And I had a pretty good time doing it, if memory serves me. And looky there, we found the bomb. We have defused it, level complete. We are now moving up to the second floor for the second level of this game. And it shows like kind of an outline of the first building. If any of you have seen the movie, basically... I'm forgetting Bruce Willis's character's name in the movie. John McClane, that's his name. Starts at the bottom, works his way up, and kills pretty much everyone until he gets to the floor where the bad guys are, and then he kills all the bad guys as it's to be expected in this game. And your life is up there in the left-hand corner, kind of representative of a badge. You can sneak up on some people, but it's kind of difficult. Something I did want to mention and kind of hit on in this game that I mentioned in the last Reminiscing with Shady episode 77, where I talked about kind of the controller issues and not being able to, effectively control the game to my liking. This was a prime example of that. Is the hostage puts me in the line of fire. I was so mad about that right there. If I had the little bit better controls, if I had a more modern controller, I think I would like this game a little bit more because it's a little bit kind of difficult to deal with and whatnot. Now here I'm trying to shoot through the counter at the bad guys, and they're just not having any part of it. All in all, this is just a fun game for me to kind of come back and play. Like I said, it's very Arcadian. It plays like it would an arcade. It's just good, wholesome death and killing and destruction and violence and maiming and killing and more killing and killing on top of killing. But sometimes there's an itch in life that you gotta have scratched, and sometimes that itch is the killing it. The thing that just rolled out of the elevator there was a weapon power up. There are power up weapons in this game. If you break a crate, you can get like right here. I'm about to get I think it's a fully automatic machine gun. You can also get shotguns. You can get bigger dual wield pistols. I think there's a rocket launcher or a bazooka of some sort in this game as well, that you're able to use and shoot. But they do, each of these kind of does give you limited ammo, unlike your pistols where you have unlimited ammo. With these, you have a certain amount of rounds and then you're out of rounds. This game is kind of like, it's kind of like Rambo in that, you know, Rambo picks up the biggest gun he can find and then he disperses of all the ammo that's inside said gun, which in the movies is a lot more ammo than the gun actually would ever hold with even extended magazines. But you know, I've always kind of thought of it really fondly of John McClane holding big guns, blowing things up, because Bruce Willis is the man. He's a fun action hero to take control of and just dispatch some bad dudes who are trying to, you know, take out your family and your loved ones and take down this office building and bring it down upon everyone's heads. I want to thank you guys very much for watching this video. This has been Reminiscing with Shady, episode 78, the Die Hard trilogy. The gameplay is winding down here, and we're about to save all the hostages and defuse yet another bomb as soon as we dispatch these bad guys. But I wanted to showcase this gameplay to you. The rest of the levels are pretty much the same, and I don't want to drag this video on and talk more about, you know, the movies and John McClane, because if you haven't seen the movies yet, what is wrong with you? If you don't like the movies, again, what's wrong with you? But if you have seen the movies, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you guys very much once again for watching. We're going to go defuse this bomb as soon as I remember where it is. I will see you guys certainly next time. If you like the video, please let me know in the comments. You can also find me on Twitter and Twitch. So check out all my links and check out the other Reminiscing with Shady games. There's all kinds of stuff throughout the years, starting in 2005 and going all the way back to some of the early games that I played in my life. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.